Bank Stadium here in Jacksonville. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one, as it'll be the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And off we go from Jacksonville. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25.
Hey, easy, route.
Lawrence going to put it up right away. Open man, this is Brenton Strange, the tight end. And they work this well upfield across the 45. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. On play action, Lawrence steps away to his left. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Lawrence will throw. This ball caught by Strange. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Flushed out right. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
Completes it to Evan Ingram. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 12-yard line. On 1st down, Lawrence forced out to his left. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Jaguars get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. And he will get in to make it 8-0. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. DJ Dallas to return it from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Part of what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Rayshad Jenkins picks it off, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And now onto the field comes the Jags offense. They'll go for 2. Lawrence going to look to throw for it. Out to his left. And he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it. So a sack on a 2-point try. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Dallas now to return it from his end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. From From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Not wasting time, going right back to DK Metcalf. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Out of the gun, Smith. He lets it fly for Lockett. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Tyson Campbell. And the Jaguars will take over here at their own 12-yard line. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. A good start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. And they'll throw on 1st down with Lawrence. And that's going to be incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Now Lawrence to throw on 2nd down. Flush to his right. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. Now right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. Throw left side is complete on the diving effort. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 45-yard line. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Eluding the pressure right. Lawrence hit him, the ball is free. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. Fortunately for him, that ball stayed close so that he could recover it on his own.
And you know the prayers that were going through his head as the ball escaped from him? How happy was he at the end of it when he found the football?
And the pass is intercepted. He was looking for Ingram. Picked off by Reek Woolen. And the Seahawks are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. This is Fant on the short completion. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Walker now on 1st and 10. Andre Cisco there on the stop. Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd down and 9. From the gun, here's Smith. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Andre Cisco. And the Jags are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10 at the 40. Escaping the... And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Looking to throw, Lawrence. That's caught. It's Strange, the tight end. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Now Lawrence on 1st down. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this 1st quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Jaguars 14, Seahawks 0.
Hey, Lion,
Sacks, a growing theme in this 1st half. This is 2nd and long. Here's Lawrence to throw. Flushed out right. Finds his tight end Ingram. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. And the pass is intercepted. He was looking for Ingram. Picked up by Devin Witherspoon. And the Seahawks are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Tyson Campbell. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. We have 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked them off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going on.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Lawrence. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Devin Witherspoon on the coverage.
Now Lawrence to throw. Flush to his right. Lawrence hitting the ball is free. And the Seahawks have picked it up. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. 2nd time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that'll make our score 14-7. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They'll be looking to make amends for the events of a moment ago. A fumble return for 6 points.
You absolutely have to protect the football. That's got to be priority #1 because margin for error is starting to slip away. Now it's down to a 1-score game.
Throwing now, Lawrence on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd down and 8. They go play action with Lawrence. The pass complete to Ingram on the crossing route. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 36. On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And the Seahawks force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. 3 first-half interceptions now, and Charles, you'd have to think a fair amount of concern is developing over there on that sideline.
And there should be, because essentially he's been a little loose and possibly reckless with the football here in the first half. Now, maybe it's not all on.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Up the middle, here's Walker. Call it a gain of 5 that time. They'll be left with a 3rd down and about 9 to go. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. They'll fake it. Now Smith. Throw out wide to Walker. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Here we go on 4th. Smith. Able to find the open man, complete. Down the sideline he goes. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, 66 yards. And the Seahawks' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points.
That certainly went against the traditional ways of playing football, but who cares? Look at the result. Big touchdown.
They went for it on their own side of the 50. So there's conservative, there's aggressive, and there's really aggressive, which is what we just saw there. Tip of the cap to them.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And that 14-0 lead to begin the ball game, well, that's gone now. Time to regroup.
I think even up 2 touchdowns, they knew this wasn't going to be a walk in the park. And I think that's why we would see the head coach going up and down the sidelines telling his team, let's stay with it, let's keep going. It's almost like he knew they were going to make their run at him, and they have. As you said, let's see if they can regroup and get going again.
The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game.
First and 10 at the 26-yard line.
11.
Now Lawrence. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Trey Brown. And the Seahawks are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. Well, we heard all week that they were going to put the football in the air a lot. The problem is that is now 4 interceptions, Charles, that he has thrown in this first half. How do you treat a situation? What do you say to your quarterback right now?
Boy, that's an interesting question because a lot of it depends on the head coach and the people making the decisions. You have to know your quarterback and know if he's mentally tough enough to have a chance to turn it around. Or is he a guy that...
Tyler Lockett. Touchdown. Tyler Lockett. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Well, they were back in the shadows of their own goalpost, and that flipped quickly.
So much for playing it safe. I mean, the conservative, easy call, run the football, take care of it, create some space, pump the ball away, but no, let's throw it. And sometimes a defense's aggressiveness is used against them because when you've got people backed up, your natural inclination is to try and really force them back, and sometimes they get burned that way.
And they got burned there. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Let's go.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that, what a dangerous throw there back across the field, but it's incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side.
And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception.
Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, if you have this defense on your fantasy football team, you are loving this right now. Their second touchdown. We're only in the first half. Remember, they had the fumble return for 6 earlier, Charles, and here the INT return.
Yeah, and we're still in the first half of this game. This group, they've been awfully quick to capitalize on mistakes made by the offense, and that one they take to the house as well. Be careful with the football with them. They turn it around on you quickly.
Another extra point opportunity here. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. From his end zone, here comes Agnew. Unable to corral him, he fights through. And he returns this to the 22. First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Lawrence will try again after the pick 6. Got his man. It's the tight end Strange with it. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Lawrence will throw. That's complete to Travis Etienne out of the backfield. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 38-yard line. On first down, Lawrence. And he'll throw this one away. I don't think he's out of the pocket. No, here comes the flag. Yeah, he hadn't gotten far enough away from the pocket to throw that football away, and that draws the flag.
Yeah, the old tackle box, right? Get outside of each tackle, and then you can go ahead and throw it away, and you're in good shape. But if you're back there in the pocket, you got to make sure of what you're doing.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Throwing again here, it's Lawrence. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. Third downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit. Even for those big tight ends who you would think could have...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Tyson Campbell, and he will be out of bounds with no time remaining on what will be the final action of this first half. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. Dallas now to return it from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. And it's incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Straight ahead, Walker. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
13 X.
Play action. It's Smith. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Gino is going to get this complete to Walker, and he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Now to the ground. Here's Walker to about the 48-yard line.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and 6. Sticking with Walker on second down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Now throwing on third down, but he cannot connect.
It's too early to figure out what kind of adjustments this defense made at halftime, but that's a good start to the second half. They can now afford to give up more points and fall further behind, so well done to force the punting situation here.
Smith will stay out there. The offense is going to go here on 4th down. They snap it to Smith, escaping the pressure right. And now here is another Now he's hit on the return. It's a loose football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. After the interception, here's Smith. Short throw to Disley. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
2nd down and 6 now. They'll toss this out right to Walker. And he is going to lose yardage here. And now they're in the hurry-up. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. To say they've kept him under wraps running the football, that's an understatement. He's been completely neutralized.
Yeah, they've essentially taken him out of the game, haven't they? And you know all the teams say, we're not going to let him beat us. Well, that's exactly what's happened here. They've lived up to that.
And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
On 3rd down, here's Walker. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. Myers' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they're able to come away with the interception, Charles. They aren't able to move the ball all that much. However, they do get 3 out of it with a field goal.
Yeah, and anytime you do force a turnover, you have to come out of it with points. Everybody wants 6. They'll take the 3 there. Now it's their opportunity to do it again.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback,
It has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. ETN once more. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Now Lawrence to throw on 2nd down. That's caught. It's Strange, the tight end. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 25-yard line.
11.
And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Now Lawrence to throw. A quick throw there is incomplete.
And their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yards.
Touchdown, Jaguars! Brenton Strange, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Jaguars are able to cut into that deficit. Now a timeout called for by the offense. And that's going to leave them with just 1 timeout remaining still in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them. We'll be back. And he is going to be stopped short of the goal line. Oh, they'll mark him inside the 1. He just couldn't keep churning those extra few inches. And the 2-point attempt is turned aside. And able to get this out to the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. To throw is Smith. Flushed out right. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Targeting the out route, and he completes this to Metcalf. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Tuesday.
From the gun, it's Walker. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a 1st. Left side complete to Lockett. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. Out of the gun, Walker with it. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. right to Smith and Jigba. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
At the goal line. A gain of 8 brings up 2nd and goal.
Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? Walker is in. Touchdown, Seattle. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Now Myers for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
Jaguars 20. Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Lawrence. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long. They'll set up a throw. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. Lawrence, wide open receiver, complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. Dancing to his left. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, here's a classic second guess. I thought he had a better chance of a positive play if he just ran it himself. The coverage downfield was really good. That one falls incomplete.
Now Lawrence now, he has this complete to Strange, the tight end. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 27-yard line. Now Lawrence on 1st down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Reek Woolen. And the Seahawks are going to get the football back at their own 17. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They'll try for the first with Walker. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive alive. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. They'll run on 1st down with Dallas. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
A gain of 14. First down, Seahawks.
And we'll see if the defense wants to stop it as they take the knee.